Hello, I'm Will David Hunter, and this is my video discussion board entitled In Defense of Western Civilization. The first question we need to address in defense of Western civilization is, what is Western culture? Western culture is the focus on the rule of law over the mandate of kings. It's individualism with moral dignity for the individual. It's institutional pluralism. It's civic self-government, as we learn from Abraham Lincoln, government for the people, by the people. And in our readings this week from Hannon in Inventing Freedom, we learned that actually comes from a Wycliffe translation of the English Bible, as do all three of those previous points come from our Anglo-Saxon tradition. Beyond that, Western culture is belief in market exchange with legal and moral constraints on those markets. Belief in public reason and organized criticism. And finally, our Western institutions or Western culture has the capacity for reform through argument or debate within enduring institutions. Western culture also is an enduring legacy of colonialism, racism, and genocide. It is an embracing of late state capitalism and the excesses of environmental destruction, and a historical drift to anti-democratic oligarchical control. So our challenge is, how does one justify these two diverse views? Which one is correct? And I say the answer is both. We need to throw into there some compounding factors. The idea of Western culture was formed during the Cold War. Even the term Western man first appeared in the Oxford Dictionary in 1907. The historiography is evolved with East and West having different interpretations. We learned this from Robert Royle, who put the West in Western civilization, and also from Kwame Anthony Apatha's There is No Such Thing as Western Civilization in our readings. Taking a closer look at the compounding factors, what East and West is a challenge because it has had a changing definitions. West and East. East is Europe, East is Asia. West was Christendom, East was the Islamic world. West became NATO, and East became the evil Warsaw Pact. Later, West became North America, Europe, the UK, certain formal colonies, and the Commonwealth countries, versus Asia, Africa, and the global South. That definition, as one of our readings stated, gets very uncomfortably close to West being white and East being people of color or brown people. I'm personally not super comfortable with that definition, but it is a historiographical and a definition that was used and needs to be considered. Another definition that comes from that same root, which I'm adding to it, is global capitalism versus the Muslim world. That idea coming from the book from the late 90s, Jihad versus McWorld by Benjamin Barber. That is another overlay of East versus West we could use. Global capitalism versus global jihadism, or the Muslim world. If we leave it there, we come to a possible conclusion. Western civilization is an evolving concept that is contested and subject to one's interpretation based on personal worldview and historical context. However, before we come to that conclusion, let's look at this opportunity. The opportunity is to use the historiographical construct of Western civilization as a structure to teach the historical importance of the rule of law, dignity of a person with freedom of conscience, self-government, pluralistic institutions, freedom of inquiry, market innovations, and the nation's capacity for self-correction. while honestly explaining the negative aspects of such, like the legacy of colonialism and genocide. Can we do that? Can we honestly use this as a structure to teach the good parts of Western civilization or Western culture, while honestly taking a critical look at the negative aspects?